Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
When people have a near-death experience, they often meet loved ones who have already passed over.
They're so happy, but they're all told by their loved ones to go back, that it's not their time. But the effect it has on the near-death experiencers who have that experience is such peace because they know that they will be with their loved ones again.
Discovering life's purpose through a near-death experience. Interview with Ms. Kimberly Clark Sharp, Part 2 of 3. Continue watching to find out more.
Greetings, noble viewers. I'm Vidya. Human life is a rare and treasured gift, and the warm-hearted people of Bhutan wish that you take care of yours with devotion. May God bless you. Welcome to part 2 of our 3-part series, Discovering Life's Purpose Through a Near-Death Experience. Interview with Miss Kimberly Clark Sharp. Miss Sharp is the author of After the Light, The Spiritual Path to Purpose, and the founder of Seattle International Association of Near-Death Studies, the world's oldest and largest support group for near-death experiencers. In the first episode, Miss Sharp described her 2 near-death experiences. During her NDE, she saw that when she returned to Earth, she would live where mountains meet water. On today's show, Miss Sharp explains some of the profound effects these near-death experiences had on her life.
When I came back, nothing made sense. I had a very planned life in my hometown. I knew who I was going to marry. I knew I'd be finishing school. I knew I would be living close to my family. Everything was set. After my near-death experience, I didn't want any of it. I loved everyone still, but I had to find where mountains met water. And that was just crazy. And my family was hurt. My mom cried and cried and cried. But I knew I had to go. And eventually I found Seattle, Washington. It's exactly as I saw, where mountains met water. And since I got here, I have never applied for a job. Every single job I've had, I've been asked to apply for. And so it's been very easy, and it's been in the field of death and dying. So another after effect of my near-death experience is that I understood death so well, and I had no fear of it, so I could be around people dying or their families or loved ones and be very calming and very sincere. So that was a big change because I'd been afraid of death before then, and now I have no fear at all. For a long time, I thought I was crazy because nothing made sense until I met someone else who had had a near-death experience. And because I was working in a healthcare facility for the University of Washington, I needed research, and this near-death experiences became my research, and it became my goal to help the world understand that these people aren't crazy. They've been given a great gift. It's not mental illness. But for a long time, I thought I was crazy. It's a terrible feeling. But, at that time, the term near-death experience didn't even exist. Mm-hmm. I hadn't met anyone who'd had this experience, and it just didn't make sense. But it does now.
According to one study, about 70% of the people who have had a near-death experience report meeting the loved ones who have already passed over. Who do they most frequently encounter?
So, of the loved ones that people encounter, it does include spouses, parents, grandparents, animals, pets, dogs, cats, horses, birds. Anything loved by us can greet us on the other side. And how people feel is ecstatic. They're so happy, but they're all told by their loved ones to go back, that it's not their time. But the effect it has on the near-death experiencers who have that experience is such peace, because they know that they will be with their loved ones again. And so that ache and longing goes away. And they know that, at some point it will happen. And so that's a comfort that is precious. I have many, many stories about reunions with loved ones in a near-death experience, but one of the most heartfelt ones comes to mind. I met a woman who had taken care of a young man as a foster child. He had terrible physical problems. He could not take care of himself. He couldn't respond to her. He was in a special bed all the time. He couldn't talk. He didn't engage with her at all, but she loved him. She was drawn to him, and she took perfect care of him. And he died pretty young because of all of his disabilities, and she grieved him. Later on, years passed, she had a near-death experience, and she found herself in a heavenly place, and coming from a distance, running towards her was this boy. And he ran to her. They had a wonderful reunion, and he said, "I knew everything that you had done for me. I was aware of it, but I couldn't communicate. I was too impaired, and thank you so much, and your love saved my life. And I'm so happy to see you, but you have to go back." But here was someone, we wonder if we care about someone and we get nothing back, well, is it worth it? It is. Love, love, love. So even if we don't think that person loves us, love.
We will take a moment to thank all the doctors, nurses, and hospital staff who lovingly care for us when we are in need. We'll be back after this brief message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program. When Miss Sharp returned to her body after her near-death experience, she discovered that she had been given a remarkable gift.
I came back with an interesting gift, and that was the ability to see and sense things that are invisible to most people. So I was seeing angels, what we call angels. I was seeing some scary things that I call negative energy, but it's scary. I was seeing way too many dead people, often my own patients. So I worked on a critical care unit. One of my patients died. She was a single mom, no parents, but she had a 16-year-old son that was out in the waiting room. And I had to go out with the doctor and tell him that his mom had died. It's very sad. He didn't want to see her body, but he wanted to talk to her, and I said, "No problem." So we pulled a curtain around her bed, and then I brought him in and said, "Your mom's head is right here. Whatever you want to tell her now, because I know she can hear you." And then I walked away. The reason I knew she could hear him is that I saw her standing next to him outside of the curtain with her arm around him as he told her how much he loved her, and cried. And that was more real to me than anything else. And so that helped me integrate these experiences that were so real and I could see the outcome. I could see this young boy being comforted in a way that didn't seem human. Well, because it wasn't human. And on. So it took time, but that's another reason why I'm dedicated to helping people integrate these experiences, because it's hard.
When people return to the bodies and the earth after a near-death experience, they often come back with a very different attitude towards their material possessions. Ms. Sharp shares the experience of two such people.
More than one person that I have spent time with after a near-death experience has wanted to give away all of their earthly possessions, and it is a problem. One man was a lawyer in an affluent part of Seattle, and he wanted to quit his law practice, but still be a lawyer, but serve the poor without money, just give himself away. Well, his wife and two sons were very happy with their lifestyle, country club and nice vacations and nice cars, and they freaked out. So I suggest to people that they wait 1 year after their NDE and see how they feel. It takes, in my experience, about a year to settle down and reach a compromise. The lawyer that wanted to give everything away, he waited a year and there was a compromise there. He worked part-time to earn money, so they didn't have as much money as they did. And then he worked part-time, what's called pro bono, as a lawyer serving the poor. So the woman that wanted to give away all of her possessions wound up working as a volunteer for people who had no possessions. And she would help them find things that they needed, blankets, food, whatever. She served the poor without depriving her family of their household goods. She did want to give away everything, though. She wanted to just go out and just hand things away. She didn't care about the material at all, which is very, very common after a near-death experience.
We thank Ms. Kimberly Clark Sharp deeply for sharing her own near-death experience, and more so that other people can get comforted. May you be blessed for your inspiring work. For more information about Ms. Kimberly Clark Sharp's work, please visit seattleiands.org. Precious viewers, thank you for your company today. Please join us again on Monday, December 2nd, for the concluding episode. Coming up next is the Surangama Sutra, 25 Means to Enlightenment, Session 5, Part 6 of 11, on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May all beings on earth be uplifted spiritually as we move towards a compassionate, peaceful, vegan world.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ss.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/ss.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/ss.
Chương trình của chúng tôi cung ứng nhiều ngôn ngữ. Xin xem suprememastertv.com/schedule và suprememastertv.com/ss.